So the name of the book is Occupational Therapy with Aging Adults, Promoting Quality of Life through collaborative practice. And you know what? I am really, really, really excited to go to our green room and introduce you to Karen Frank Barney here for Author's Corner on America Tonight with me, Kate Delaney, because I think a lot of people don't understand, even unless they're in the business, how important and what occupational therapy is. And it's something that you should really, really pay attention to. So, Karen, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me, Kate. I want to clarify. So most people probably have an understanding of what physical therapy is. But occupational therapy, despite the fact that we take the same anatomy and physiology as physical therapists, we translate that knowledge into what we call occupations, the activities that comprise our everyday lives. And many of us take those activities for granted. You know, we get up in the morning, we get ourselves ready for the day, we get on with either our work, or if we're older, we may be retired, or we may have avocational interests, many different interests. So our focus is on enabling people as we throughout the lifespan to do whatever it is that they need to do. And that's everything from brushing your teeth and washing your face to cooking, gardening, golfing, the whole span of activities, which we call occupations, as I mentioned before. And we approach this by having that foundation in understanding the musculoskeletal systems and what happens as we age, as well as neurology. There are changes. We experience those. I've experienced those myself. So I feel like I'm well equipped to explain some of the debilitating factors that can impact what we want and need to do. I don't do so much cooking anymore, for example, because I did cooking for a household of 7 for many years. Fortunately, I'm married to someone who likes to cook, and so he does more of the cooking because I developed tremors. And my right side is corrected. My left side, I will have surgery next week for that. But when we experience these changes, the physiological changes that often accompany aging, and it can be cardiac, heart problems, any variety of problems, joint problems. Many older people have joint replacements. Well, why do we get those? Usually because we want to engage in those activities that we've loved being a part of for a long time, and we want to be able to resume those. So with a joint replacement, physical and occupational therapists work with the individual in rehabilitating them, in assisting them to bring them back to a level of quality of life that they are really aiming for. And of course, it takes hard work. Any of you who've experienced joint replacements or other debilitating conditions causing you to have surgery or other procedures understand what I'm saying. We also are concerned that people have good nutrition and that they are able to prepare the food that they need, or that they are able to acquire assistance for that. So we work, the buzzword is interprofessionally. We work with any discipline that can inform us to provide a better quality of life in the activities that the person wants and needs to do. Medications are another area that some of us have many, some none at all. And we work with the pharmacology people to make sure that people can organize their pills. You may be familiar with pill organizers. I use them on an everyday basis. It's tremendously helpful, but we have to have systems for being able to do the activities or the occupations that will not only keep us alive, but will enable us to thrive.
Wow, it's so interesting. In listening to this, you think of the aspects of everyday life, socialization. You talk about that. You talk about the ethical and legal aspects. You talk about what you just talked about there, health status and what are we looking at there? And it is so interesting because everybody, as you know, is unique and different. And you wanted to do this. You knew you wanted to do this when you were 12. Is that right?
Yes. The first time I saw occupational therapy, I was just enamored with it. I just knew that was something I wanted to do. I have great respect for my physical therapy colleagues, but that would not inspire me. I knew I wouldn't be a good nurse because I don't want to put needles into people or do other nursing tasks. But we work with all of these disciplines. Occupational therapy helps enable people to do, like I said, whatever they need to do. So, for example, I was in an intensive care unit several years ago getting a pacemaker, and I asked for occupational and physical therapy because, brushing your teeth, washing your face, and so on, those are all activities that we focus on. And I hadn't been out of bed for several days. So anytime that, especially an older person, but it happens also with younger people, even people in their 20s, if you are lying in bed for a length of time, you need assistance in regaining function. And it may be physical and or occupational therapy. So we work as team members. We work very, very closely with nursing, medicine, and social work. Perhaps the person is struggling with their housing. We may assist them to find appropriate housing for their particular needs. So we work with just as many disciplines as are appropriate for that person.
Yeah, I think you're like the glue. When people read, and again, this is a great book. You don't have to be in the business. To me, it's like a incredible reference book for even the average layperson. Occupational therapy with aging adults, promoting quality of life, like I said, through collaborative practice. We're speaking with Karen Frank Barney. Get it on Amazon, Barnes and Noble. When people read the book and you're weaving it throughout this conversation, what do you hope the takeaways are?
I would hope that you would find answers for your own challenges, a greater understanding of how medical social teams work together, and most of all, that your quality of life is impacted favorably. That you, by reading it, you can reach out and ask your primary care provider, I'm having trouble with A, B, C, or D. And can you help me? Can you refer me to someone who can help me with that? Primary care providers, our doctors, are wonderful people. They don't always think of this. And actually, we have a chapter in this book on what occupational therapy does in primary care.
It is such a powerful book. It truly, truly is. What a great conversation we've had. And again, a reminder, you can pick this up on Amazon or Barnes and Noble. Karen, thank you so much.
Thank you, Kate, for having me.
Visit us at www.greatwritersmedia.com. Email us at info@greatwritersmedia.com or call us at +1 877 556